Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Spilled Milk, where there's no point in crying over spilled milk. Why? Because we're going to drink it anyway. I'm Candace, and today we're talking about dairy-free life writ large. Just different things and topics that have been on my mind about being dairy-free and just talking that through. So, one thing I've been thinking about is how it's a spectrum. So, like, you can have an allergy, you can be intolerant. Like, there's a range from lactose intolerance to full-on dairy allergy. And within an allergy, there's different like reactions and physical reactions that are a part of that. And so it's been interesting to have conversations lately with newer people, or just like reminding folks of like, I have a dairy allergy. It's not an intolerance. My tummy's not going to hurt. I can't take Lactaid for it. Like, I have an allergy. I'm going to have like an immuno response to it that's different than but different than like a tummy ache or gas or things like that. And so I've been thinking about like how that's a spectrum and how every response that's your body's response, that's valid. But really understand the difference, understanding that it's a spectrum of impact and physical response, and just how it's important to know what that looks like for the person in your life. So I appreciate how people asking, appreciate being able to clarify. So I feel like a lot of people are lactose intolerant, and so it's easy to relate to that, but then understand like, no, it's actually a different thing, and having to explain your symptoms and what happens. And it's always funny when people are like, oh, what happens to you when this happens? And I'm like, okay, like, that's a fair response, but also I'm like, have to think back to my last bad reaction. Like, that's not super fun. So it's interesting. But yeah, like filling out a doctor's new patient form and having to like note that, and then again, like, it's like, what happens to you? And I'm like, this is what happens to me. Don't love like rehashing that, but it's a fair question in most contexts. It's just an interesting one to have to answer based on what it requires me to think about and think through. So there's that. Another thing I thought about recently is like compounding allergies. So having a food allergy myself, and having someone else come over or be a part of my life who also has a food allergy, and what that looks like to navigate both of them. I don't know how other allergy folks feel about this, but I feel like I've got my allergy on lock, right? When it comes to other allergies, I feel like I should be more like in tune and able to like lock in on like, okay, here's what we need to do for other allergies. And it just is harder for me. And I don't know if it's because like I'm so focused on mine, it's hard to switch gears to like, oh, this other ingredient, and to go so in depth on mine, like it's harder to pull back and like remember, oh, this other thing. Like, one of my neighbors is allergic to citrus, which my mom is actually allergic to, so that's easy for me to remember, but also to nuts, which is hard for me to remember, especially with someone who like genuinely likes like peanut butter and tree nuts and things like that. And so I've forgotten several times, and I'm like, I should be better than this. Like, I know what this feels like. Why am I not better at this? And I'm thinking it's because it's just easier because I'm locked in on mine. Like, I know what it is, and I'm just solely focused on that. And so making brain space for another allergen is just not, I'm just not used to that. And so that gives me empathy for folks who don't have food allergies, trying to assist their food allergy people. Like, it can be hard to remember. Like, it can be hard to be like, oh wait, no, so-and-so has this and this and this. Okay, that's what it means for this, and accommodating them, making sure they have equal options in a particular setting, especially because that's really important to me. When it comes to having a food allergy, it's important to me that the accommodation and the inclusion of that person and their allergy is not just bare minimum, but it's really and truly like they are at the same level, they have the same amount of food, substance of food, like quality of food, as whatever else is being served that they can't eat. It is important to me that it's not just like, oh, you have a dairy allergy and are having pizza, here's your salad. Like, salad works great for some people. I have a friend who loves salad. That's not me. It's also not substantial to me calorically. So I'm going to want the caloric equivalent of that pizza. So whether that is the wings and breadsticks, whether that is a dairy-free option with like dairy-free cheese, like whatever that is, like having it be equivalent in quality, substance, and calories, essentially. And deliciousness. Like, if people are eating pizza, unless you are a salad person, if people are eating pizza, you're probably gonna want the pizza. But regardless of preferences, just making sure all options are equal. I think that's really important. I think that's a big part of people feeling included, not just like like truly included in a group and conversation setting, truly included in an event, truly included and welcomed in the same way that everyone else is. Like, it's not fun to be the person eating chips and crackers when everyone else is eating the full meal that's available, because that's the only thing you can eat. And it's within the person's control who hosted it to do better. And again, I say this as someone who, when it comes to other food allergies, will forget, but I'm genuinely trying to do better so I can empathize. But also that level of intentionality and planning, I think, is still necessary when you're welcoming people into your home, into your life, into your community. Like, that inclusion part's really important. So yeah, a few things I'm thinking about lately when it comes to dairy allergies. So what other things should we talk about? What other questions do you have? What other content do you want to see? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.